Very good evening from Laysdown Beach on the Isle of Sheppey. So we're going to do something slightly different this time. Instead of me talking over the footage, I'm going to say what the bird is, a brief intro just saying what I was doing when I found it, or the bird behavior, and then you'll just see the footage and hear the soundtrack, even if it's just background noise, no singing, no anything. I'll start with the barn owls that I saw. I'm not going to tell you where they are because they're Schedule 1, but I had a juvenile and an adult and filmed them, about 8:30 at night yesterday. So enjoy this. When I arrived at Elmley, barn swallows on a wire, always dependable for that. Brief skylark from the cab. I didn't really catch any song, it was quite a distance away. Nice to see a grey heron and a little egret together in one of the ponds. Couple of wood pigeon, I thought why not, having a courtship, and they actually mated. unusual spot, the wires by the car park, barn swallows and sand martin. And I actually took some photos because I was using my dot sight, and it really did help to get some great shots. Shame they were underside, most of them, but now I know I can use them for birds in flight. I don't have to be held up in one spot like down at Crossness and pointed in one direction. I can hand hold it as well and get good photos. Brief slow-mo of this hovering kestrel in great light. It was in sunlight, but the background was grey. Those thunderclouds that came by later on and got me. This female pheasant, incredible. It just walked out onto the path, lay down and started having some sort of a dust bath. And I just filmed from my tripod. It was great, it was really, really tame. Enjoy this. This male chaffinch gave me a bit of work using manual focus. That was fun. Got the little owl again. That's 2 trips in a row. I actually saw it 3 times. I passed it 3 times today. It was on the window frame when I arrived, and I set my camera up and it was gone. And I was like, oh no, I should have just filmed it handheld. And as I looked again, it made its way out onto the ledge. So I stuck the camera on it. This is going to be just chopped up into, because I filmed for several minutes and waiting for the yawns and the preens and things like that. So enjoy this. Just after the owl, the rain clouds were coming in, so I had to forget the reedlings for now and get back onto the track and use my cab as a hide. But there was a lot of marsh harrier action on the track. Unusual to see on the ground stock doves by the tree line. I actually saw quite a few of them today. I don't know if it's just because I know what they look like now and I'm just seeing more of them, I don't know. Not great footage, but one of the released curlews with all the leg tags from the project they do here. So after the rain, went back down to Brickfields and got the reedlings. But first, bumped into my old friends, the reed bunting. They'd had some chicks, and this one's almost fully grown now. I think it's a male juvenile. And then the male showed up. Some manual focus work on these reed warblers, they are a pain. And I was getting a bit worried they weren't going to show, but the reedlings showed. It was a distant one to start with, the juvenile, and then the male came out and filled the frame. Thank you, sir. I think he had a spider in his beak. Then a brief appearance by a couple of juveniles before I had to run again because of another rain cloud. Okay, Elmley was closed, so off we went down the road towards Hearty Ferry and bumped into a bunny I don't think I've seen for a couple of years, a melanistic, I've been told. They're not leucistic, they're black, they are melanistic, black bunny, feeding on the grass with all the other bunnies. Actually onto Hearty Ferry, always good for finches. I had to keep my distance, but there were greenfinch, chaffinch, great tit and a blackbird, I believe, on the ground. They wouldn't let me get any closer than this. A massive surprise by the big pond on the right. About 7 great white egret in really, really good light, and I just got my fill of those. What? I couldn't believe my eyes. Couple of buzzards and marsh harriers giving me some passes by the Raptor viewpoint, and in perfect light, a bit of slow-mo in there as well. The common linnet seems to be the small bird from around there at the moment. No corn buntings recently, I don't know what's going on. But there was these crisscrossing branches and male and female on each one. Lovely bit of footage. I didn't have time to set up the tripod, so I did it handheld, which is fine because it was blowing around in the wind anyway. I thought I heard a yellow wagtail, or at least some sort of wagtail, and then I saw them feeding by the hoofs of the horses, yellow and pied. I think the yellow look juvenile to me. Marsh harriers and buzzards all day. Finally got some common kestrels and in really, really nice light. I thought, why not? There are a load of starlings on the wires, all perfectly lined up with no spaces in between them. They didn't move, got the tripod out and just filmed this. It looks nice, sounds good, all the little chirping. On the way out, some red-legged partridge. I was very surprised my camera handled the tracking on this pretty well. It misses a couple of times, but pretty good. And down here at Laysdown Beach rounds it off. Nothing going on. The only sort of wader outside of black-headed gulls and greater blackback gulls and herring gulls are oyster catchers. A flock of them flew by a moment ago. Got that in slow-mo, but nothing else. No sanderlin, no dunlin, no plovers. But perfectly happy with how that day's gone. Tell me how you find this sort of vlog, where you just get the bird and not me talking over the top and I'm just briefly in it for a moment. I've also done the podcast. There's the microphone. I've been doing a podcast, and in it I tell people the vlog's coming and you'll get to see all the stuff I was talking about. So give me some feedback, folks. I'm trying to do as much as possible, bring as much content as possible. And so far I'm really enjoying it. It's keeping me active, my brain working. See you next time.